Hey everybody, welcome to this week's Hot Bites Fishing Report. We're here at the bait shop in Waterford. We're going to show you an awesome bait store here at the end of this report, but we got 5 ridiculously good reports. We're going to start with a winner's report from the Fall Brawl. The Fall Brawl just ended yesterday, and we've got a winner. He happens to be a friend of mine, Captain Mitch Doherty from down in the Port Clinton area. Then we're going to slide up a little bit over to the Michigan side on Lake Erie, give you a really good Monroe report. Listen, Monroe is going to go for a while. Water temps are such that it's really going to hold for several weeks. We're going to slide up to Lake St. Clair, give you a great walleye and bluegill report, then head a little bit further north, and we're going to talk about perch fishing and walleye fishing on Saginaw Bay, and then we're going to head all the way across the state to Captain Alex Bialik in the Fireplug Charters home waters, which is Manistee River System and the Pierre Marquette River System, and talk steelhead. 5 great reports. Stay tuned here on Fisherman's Digest. So hey, we're going to talk to Captain Mitch Doherty after he just won the $110,000 grand prize at the Fall Brawl down there in Lorain. And the guys that put that on, Erie Marine Sales, did a great job this year. They had 12,500 people sign up to fish it. It was an awesome tournament. It ended up that the last 3 days, all the biggest fish were caught. All of them over 12 pounds. Just a ridiculously tight competition there, but my friend Captain Mitch Doherty from Straight Fins Guide Service there in Port Clinton ended up catching the big one there on Thanksgiving Day, a 12.88 pounder. So congrats to Mitch. Good job with the fishing. Good job to everybody, all 12,500 anglers. And the winning fish was caught on a P10. Now remember, in previous reports, I had warned everybody that with water temperatures dropping, those P10s were going to start to be a player and they were going to become more critical. Well, sure enough, Captain Mitch put on some P10s. He started mixing half P10s with his bandits, half and half, and the big fish came on a P10, a weighted P10 with a snap weight, an offshore snap weight, 2 ounce, 30-40 was the set, and fishing behind an offshore trolling board, that's what the big fish came on. It was good for 110 grand. So what are the sets going forward? Listen guys, you can really pretty much hone in now on 30-30, 30-40, 30-50 with 2 ounces and a P10. That means 30 foot out, your 2 ounce snap weights, and either 30, 40, or 50 more. That should put you in the zone with P10s. Set a mixed spread of that on both sides, and go ahead and you can still run high lines with bandits or P10s unweighted for those on those really calm sunny days. Those fish will love to come high, so keep that in mind as well. So that's going to be our final report probably for this year from that Lake Erie, Lorain area. We're going to start to shift our emphasis to our next report, and that report is coming to you right now. Are you in the market for a new trailer? For all your trailer needs, big or small, visit Beck's Trailer Superstore on Highway 127 north of St. John's. So, where are the fish headed? You know, when they leave that western or that central basin, that Lorain to Cleveland area, it seems like the fish just pack into that Monroe, Luna Pier area of Michigan. Right there, right outside the mouth of the Detroit River, that water becomes just overrun with nice fish. And a lot of the best fish that you'll ever catch there are either caught in December or right away in March, late March, as they're leaving. The biggest fish always seem to spawn first, and so they're dumping out of that river. So let's talk about that December bite here on Monroe. Now, it's out of Bulls Harbor, Sterling State Park area, and guys are running the same thing as they're running over on the Central Basin. They're running a mix of P10s or bandits. And the key to this bite now in December is slow, slow, slow. You're going to want to have that speed about 1 to 1.4 at the most. I'd say with 1.2 being your target. Now, P10s there, you're going to be dealing with a lot of shallower water. Don't be afraid to crowd into 12 to 15 foot of water when you're doing this search pattern. It's not always, you know, that 15 to 25 or 30 foot of water that you traditionally think of. As this water cools, you're going to have shad really pressing the shorelines, getting as tight to the shorelines as they can to feed on whatever the waves are churning up. And I'm telling you what, the big walleyes are opportunistic. They're going to feed aggressively the whole time. So P10s, I would say I would start with a couple on each side flatline, maybe flatlined out 50 and 70, and then I would start snapping them where you go 30, 15, 30, 25, 30, 35. That's keeping you much higher than you would fish over in the Central Basin out of that Lorain area, but that's because, again, water depth is much shallower here in this area, and those fish, from my experience, are known to press into that 15 to 20 foot depth. So don't be afraid to go fishing in there. You're going to encounter a lot of big fish. So enjoy yourself. If you're looking for custom crankbaits in that area, you're going to want to check out Domka Outdoors right there on La Pleasance Road in Monroe. They've got the best selection of custom crankbaits out there. Dave and his wife Erin do a great job and keep everybody happy, just like the folks here at the bait shop in Waterford do. But when you're down in Monroe and you need custom color crankbaits, Dave's your man. So hey, check out Monroe in the month of December for awesome big walleye. Hey sportsmen, John Bergsman here from the Fisherman's Digest. We're talking with Mike from Flo-Fast. We're talking about outdoor utility vehicles and the uses and all the different variations of ways that you can use your Flo-Fast system. Mike, talk to us about the amazing system that you have here that just makes things easier.
You know, ATVs today, whether it's a utility vehicle, a side-by-side, they use a lot of fuel, hold a lot of fuel, and if you're riding them hard, they burn through it quickly. You know, we've got a multitude of container sizes from a 7.5 to a 10.5 to a 15-gallon in size. We make a steel cart. It's got solid rubber tires and wheels. And one of the unique things is that you can transfer the pump very quickly from can to can. So if you need more capacity, you can just buy additional containers and transfer the pump. The pump system, it's very safe, it's easy to use, and you can move up to 8 gallons per minute with it. So you can refuel one of these very, very quickly.
The Flo-Fast system will make everything in your ownership of these type of vehicles so much more convenient and also environmentally friendly. No more gas spillage. If you want to learn more about Flo-Fast, check them out at flofast.com. So we're jumping up here to the Lake St. Clair area, and that's what brings us here to the bait shop in Waterford. You know, this is one of those little tiny bait shops that when you walk in the door, you go, oh my goodness, there is so much stuff here. I mean, these guys, Mark and Blake, do a great job of keeping the shelves filled with the right seasonal baits for this area. Now, they've got an awesome selection right here next to me of ice fishing equipment. They just got it set out. Ice fishing's right around the corner. And within 8 miles of the bait shop, they've got 38 inland lakes. So ice fishing is a real deal here for the bait shop and its customers. Plus, they've also got an awesome selection when we come back here in the spring of hand-poured jigs and all of the stuff you're going to need for that Detroit River bite. But now this Lake St. Clair bite, what's going on right now there? We've got 2 different bites. Actually, you could say 3. We've got a really strong river bite going on right now. So again, if you want some really cool colors, head on down to the bait shop here in Waterford for their hand-poured custom color line that they have here year-round on the wall. So the St. Clair River is humping good. The top of the Detroit River, so right where St. Clair, Lake St. Clair dumps into the Detroit River there, they're catching a lot of nice fish starting jigging. I saw a really nice limit of fish of guys that had, looked like to me, 4 or 5 pounders. Every single one of them, they had a 2-man limit. They worked for about 3 hours to get them in an afternoon trip from about 2 to 5. But hey, that's a lot of good fun. And as you know, the river, when it's windy, can be your respite. You can dump into that river and still effectively fish. The Lake St. Clair bite has been from St. Clair shores around to the head, to the mouth of the Detroit River. It's been in about 13 to 17 feet of water. Custom Bandits seem to be the best right now still. I'm sure guys are going to start to mix P10s in. It's just that time of the year and that action seems to catch those big walleyes in the Great Lakes. So same thing as Erie, a mix of P10s and Bandits. You're going to want to stay high. Again, you're only fishing 13 to 17 feet of water. And from the head of the Detroit River on the U.S. side all the way up to St. Clair shores has been the ticket. Now, guys are telling me that on bright days they're using chrome and blue, or they're using golds and purples. On the darker days, they're using the gold and purple will work there as well. But a lot of yellows. I'm seeing a lot of yellows when guys are talking to me and emailing me reports and sending me pictures. I'm seeing a lot of baits that have yellow on them somewhere. So it seems to me, just from what I'm seeing, that you could probably throw chartreuse into that mix as well. So running shiny baits, running baits that have chartreuse on them somewhere. Also, Eric Long, Captain Eric Long, he's pulled his boats now for the season. Him and Dave will be out next spring, but he tells me this time of year, traditionally, you can catch them on a lot of different colors. The fish are really aggressive. So, Lake St. Clair, walleyes from St. Clair shores to the head, or jigging either the bottom of the St. Clair River or the top of the Detroit River. Hey, are you in the market for a small outdoor shed, carport, or small storage building? Visit my friends up at Midwest Steel Carports. They'll travel anywhere in the Lower Peninsula to install your shed or carport for you. Visit them online at MidwestSteelCarports.com. So hey, Saginaw Bay, and if it seems like I'm being redundant, guys, and talking about all Great Lakes fisheries, that's because the Great Lakes fisheries right now are the place to be. We're pre-ice fishing, okay? And so a lot of the inland lakes will kind of stale out a little bit on you, but these Great Lakes, this is go time on the Great Lakes. The biggest fish of the season in their most aggressive mood of the season. So we're just going to talk about these bites until they're done. So Saginaw Bay, it looks like out by Buoy 1 and on either side of the shipping channel, we had a friend of mine, Nick, that's just a regular old guy, good hard worker during the week, and then a weekend warrior gave me a picture of some really nice walleyes he encountered on HDJ 12s. Now that's a Husky Jerk Deep, number 12, running them back 100 feet. Had a really nice bag you'll see going across the screen there. He and his buddy went out for just one day and really hammered them. Also, Mike Martin Outdoors tells me he's starting to encounter some walleye now. He's been all over the perch all season long, and so that's really going to go good. And so trolling 100 back on custom jerks or straight over the side of the boat with perch rigs and shiners seems to be what's doing the ticket. Now if you're looking for great shiners, right here at the bait shop in Waterford, these guys have got bait year round. And one of the reasons is because this is an ice fishing mecca in this general area outside Detroit. So many lakes around. So even if you're gonna go perch fishing, if you're from here and you're gonna take a little trip up there, put a little water in your live well or in a big 5-gallon bucket, stop by Mark or Blake here at the bait shop, fill it up, get the best shiners in the area, and head out for some great perch fishing. Whether it's Lake St. Clair or Saginaw Bay, the bait shop in Waterford's got the minnows for you. So we're here with Lee from WavePro, and Lee, talk to me just for a second about the functionality. You know, I've had WavePro for 3 years on my boat now, and one of the things I love about it is the fact that it has no bottom end. It seems like the harder you hit a wave, you still never crash your spine on the bottom of that cycle.
Yeah, what we have is an air chamber there, and we're just compressing air to nothing, so the rising rate's just doubling, tripling, and that's why it doesn't bottom.
That's a very, very cool concept. I mean, you know, the other thing is, and the thing I noticed right away coming from a competitor's base, is there was always that sensation on the up that I was going to get almost thrown out of my seat where yeah, it would cushion the down, but it would also kind of make me feel like I'm going to get thrown out of my seat. How is it that WavePro accomplishes not having that feeling? Because I don't have that feeling.
Yeah, we have a hydraulic chamber also. We dampen it with oil and some piston like a snowmobile use, and we're slowing it on the rebound.
So really it's the same thing. It just continues to compress on the down to prevent a bottom, and on the rebound it's just constantly resisting until that rebound is gone.
Yeah, we're just slowing it down with the oil. It's a set how fast it's coming back with the oil passing through orifices and the down. Just think of a motocross bike. Them kids sit on the motocross bike, they sag half the suspension out. You know, but if they go over to jump, the wheels fall out. Same thing in a boat. We're hydraulically slowing you down, going down till the air picks you up, but we're stopping you with the air. That's what keeps you from bottoming. It's also a slowed compression too.
So it's a dual chamber system in there.
A dual chamber, yeah.
All right. Well, hey, I wanted that question answered for all of our loyal followers, because I get a lot of comments. How does WavePro in such a tiny little footprint,
Yeah.
it's nothing bigger than what you'd come in your standard boat, I mean, just the standard equipment that is the base and pedestal to your seat. It's that same footprint, but yet it accomplishes all of this stuff.
Yep.
Hey, I wanted you guys to know why the WavePro is such a superior piece of equipment. Check them out at waveproshock.com, and we'll see you again next week on Fisherman's Digest. So hey, we're going to totally change up and go all the way across the state and talk about the Ludington to Manistee, basically both areas. Now, Captain Alex Bialik, you know him as our charter captain expert here located in Manistee. He also does our fishing reports and sometimes is behind the camera. Well, Captain Alex tells me right now he's been on the river for the last week. The Pier Marquette is going very well in Ludington. He guides there. If you need a trip, check him out at Fireplug Charters. Right online, just Google Fireplug Charters. Captain Alex will get you out on the Pier Marquette for an awesome steelhead adventure. He also is intimately familiar with the Manistee River system, so he can get you out on either one, whatever your preference. And both of them are going really good right now. Seems like the fish that you're seeing around the pier heads are all starting to flood into the river now with this advent of really cold weather. And you're going to see them continue around the shoreline pier heads for probably until another 2 or 3 weeks for sure. But slowly those fish keep trickling in and giving Alex more and more along with his customers to catch. Now, how's he catching them? Well, Alex fishes a variety of ways. Most of the time he's free-floating bobbers and spawn, or bobbers and beads. Those are two, it seems like, so the best ways to catch those fish in both of those river circumstance. And I'll tell you what, having a guide when you do this is really super important. I've seen guys say, oh, I want to go river fishing, and they try to dump their boat and they find out real quick, listen, the river's no place to be unless you've known that river. You know exactly where all the stuff is, all of the cuts are. So check it out, Captain Alex at Fireplug Charters, the Manistee River, the Pier Marquette River, the steelhead are biting. Give him a call. Hey, we're here with Blake from the bait shop here in Waterford. And Blake, talk to me just for a minute about the awesome selection of these hand-poured, custom-colored river jigs that you guys offer for the Detroit River.
Well, you know, John, we got started off with Eric Long making his 1.5 ounce teardrop style jig for guys that were really just getting introduced into the walleye fishing and needed to find the bottom on the Detroit River with that heavier current. We then started to go into our 1 ounce jigs. We've got 23 different colors. We also have those available in 3/4 ounce. And then we go down to 8 basic colors, which are your solid colors for your 3/8, half, and 5/8 ounce jigs.
And it's super important, guys, to understand that when you're using a product that's consistent, it makes a difference, because when you go from jig manufacturer to jig manufacturer, correct, Eric? I mean, Blake, there can be big swings in weights. The actual jig can weigh different.
Absolutely.
One guy's half ounce might not be another guy's half ounce. So I think it's super important to associate yourself with a jig manufacturer that gives you consistency as well as a variety of colors. This is one of the differences of here at the bait shop in Waterford, is that these are on the wall year round, just like their soft plastics are on the wall for the bass guy year round. This is something you can come in and experience along with the awesome bait and the awesome seasonal selections here at the bait shop in Waterford. So hey, 5 great reports from here at the bait shop in Waterford. We've had a great time here. I experienced a first-time experience, possibly the most, if you can see behind me, the most packed out little store. Again, Mark and Blake are keeping this place packed, and year-round, one of the things on the wall, the best price on Gary Yamamoto stuff you're ever going to find, $5.99 a pack. It draws you in, but once you see all the great stuff they've got in here, you find out this is a real deal bait shop. So hey, we hope you enjoy the reports. We hope you enjoy the fact that we're exposing all of these great small local bait shops to you, where you can give these guys your business and keep them serving the community. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week on the Fisherman's Digest Hot Bite Report.